Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live streaming. This is the very first Sunresin's live streaming event online. So today, this live streaming event is concurrent with the Aquatech China trade show that is happening now in Shanghai. So for those of you who may not have a very clear picture about Sunresin, so Sunresin is a company, high-tech company that specializes in the absorption and separation materials, equipment, as well as solutions. So we're from China, northwest of China, Xi'an. And so today joining me, I have, my name is Eric Song, and I'm from the International Business Department. Joining me today, we have our Vice President, uh, Jean-Marc Vesselle, as well as two of our main technical experts who will give us more information about technical sides of the products and services. Now, for those of you who happen to be in town, by town I mean the National Convention Exhibition Center here in Shanghai, you are more than welcome to visit our booth here at 6.1 H415, 6.1 H415. And for those of you who might not be available at this moment but are online with us, we would very much like to have you stay with us for the rest of the 45 or 50 minutes. So we will have our team to give you some more information about our company, as well as our products, our services, etc. So before we move on to the official presentation of the company and products, as well as what's happening here with the Aquatech and our relation with water treatment, let me just give you a very quick idea for those of you who might not be very familiar or may have just started to work with Sunresin. Now, we have three major main brands under the same umbrella, which is Sunresin. And all of them start with SEP, meaning separation, or short for separation. So SEPLite, SEPLife, and SEPsolute. SEPLite is our main product line, focusing on resin products, so the separation materials. SEPLife is our product that focuses on life science products. So, for example, we are very much into the vaccine production, processing, proteins, in all those pharmaceutical applications. So that is SEPLife. SEPsolute, as the name may suggest, separation solutions. So including materials, equipment, as well as solutions. So on top of that, you may have seen the monojet, and we're very proud to be one of the very, very few manufacturers of the world that are able to produce resins of uniform particle size. And we're very honored and proud to be the only one in China that can have this kind of proprietary technology. Now, if you have any questions, you may go to our website, www.seplite.com, to check out more information that you may need. Or otherwise, you can contact us through social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. Again, if you have questions that might not have been addressed today here at this live streaming event, then you're more than welcome to send us an email to ecom@seplite.com. Ecom, very easy to remember, the short form of e-commerce, ecom@seplite.com. So now I don't want to really keep bothering you anymore, and I would like to introduce you to our Vice President, Mr. Jean-Marc Vesselle, who is in charge of international business, who is based in Europe.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. At this moment, it seems we have lost the feed. Well, while the team in China seems to have been disappearing. I presume everybody is hearing this live stream further. So also from my part, very warm welcome into this first live stream from Aquatech China, and in my case from Düsseldorf in Germany. We are Sunresin, one of the majors enterprise in the ion exchange, adsorber, and all that has to do with separation technologies. This company is a family business, which is very central to success in industry all around the world. Founded by a couple about 20 years ago, and which has been developing very strongly and striving since then on a regular pace. The Sunresin, as it stands, has, you can see on the picture here, its headquarters in Xi'an. We are based in Xi'an, Shanxi province in China, and I will show you a bit more where that is in a second. And then if my colleagues could move to the next slides, I would be very grateful. So, as you can see, the location map in China allows you to have a better idea where our plants are located. The Shanxi province looks a little bit like the United Kingdom once it has lost Scotland. And we have in 3 dots there corresponding to our 3 main locations, all within 150 kilometers from one another. The headquarters are located, as mentioned earlier, in Xi'an. Xi'an is the province capital of the Shanxi province, and that's also the site of the first Chinese unified empire. And that's where you will find, when I'm sure you'll have the opportunity to come and visit our factories, you will have a chance to visit the tomb of the first Chinese emperor with the famous terracotta warriors guarding the first emperor in his tomb. And just outside of Xi'an, we have Gaoling and Pucheng, which are our 2 main industrial sites, located both outside of the city, respectively 40 kilometers and 150 kilometers. So if my colleagues in China could switch the page now to the next one, then we would then continue. Thank you very much. So we have now R&D, and you know, being successful as we have been over the past 20 years does not come if you try to just do commodity products and focused on the lowest possible value and the simplest products. You cannot establish value for your customers if you corner yourself literally into this low value, low quality type of market. And it was a very bright and intelligent decision from our chairwoman and husband at the time to decide to go for the high price, to decide to go for the high quality materials. And this they did by investing heavily and regularly in research and development. And we have been continuously investing between 5 and 10% of our sales into research and development every year. I've received for that a trove of patents, obviously, for our own intellectual property, but also many prizes from the Chinese Academy of Science, which, among others, 2 national prizes from the president of our organization for the development of lithium purification, which is today a critical material to power the electro vehicles all around the world. Yeah. So this R&D effort is led by a group of about 80 to 90 people who are all engineers and doctors and PhDs in chemistry and are managing to move ahead our technical knowledge in all the fronts. We are an interesting company also for you as our customers or would-be or to-be customers, among others, because we cover the base that all of them do cover. But none of them does cover as much technological base as we do. And that's a very interesting situation, I can tell you. So if you are looking for a manufacturer of uniform particle size material, we mentioned already, there are us, yeah, and the three majors from the Western world, yeah, from the OECD, we could say, yeah. For chelating resins, you will find us, and also the three majors. And for adsorbers resins, yes, you would find us and only two of the majors, since the German competitor is not really represented in that area of adsorbing technologies. They don't have the technologies for that. Okay, so you can see our product portfolio is the widest which is on the market, and covers the largest application areas, from the most traditional, like energy production and demineralization of the water, to the most advanced, my colleague mentioned earlier, purification in the process production of vaccine around the world. Yeah. Yes, monojet technologies, this is quite important. In many industrial applications and in many chromatographic systems, it is well known that having a chromatographic media whose bead size are very narrow allows you to have a better level of theoretical plate, as you say in chromatographic vocabulary. And that means a better separation ability for components. And this technology is extremely complex to develop. And we have built our first monojet factory now in 2019, and we have been producing and have a lot of experience. The interesting part is we produce both gel type resins as well as macro-reticulated or macroporous, depending on the vocabulary you will use to characterize these. We produce both polymers, gel or macroporous, in the uniform particle size technology, and can offer correspondingly products not just for water treatment, as some of our competitors are doing. Look, for instance, in Asia and Japan, you will not get uniform particle size polymer in macroporous shape from these guys. And we can produce them also in macroporous shape, which is very important in order to be able to support customers, for instance, in the food transformation industry, but also in mining for hydrometallurgy. So this we do also very well, and this is a big advantage. Obviously, there is no sustainable development of relationship with customers if you don't provide good quality and reliable quality. And we have a very advanced and elaborate technology platform to ensure that we do quality control. But the best quality control is the quality control you just do in order to confirm that the results that came out of production are excellent. And we have implemented a lot of automation in our production units in order to make sure that the results delivered in each production lot are highly reproducible, allowing us to be very confident that every time we do quality control, we find good results in our products, that they are within 1 sigma deviation at the maximum. Yeah. So we have also been, like every company in the world, being challenged last year by a very much reduced ability to communicate physically, to visit customers around the world. And we have implemented a remote monitoring center that allows us to, thanks to most advanced technologies in terms of communication, both in terms of video as well as in terms of electronic medias, to monitor activity at customer plants, to support customer when they want to start their new unit, which they have built together with us. or when they want to troubleshoot some issues they may have into their production unit. And we do that together with them. We have a dedicated communication center with, wide screens and so on. It looks like a little bit, a movie about the space adventure and Houston. In our case, it's Xi'an. We need your help, and we are there to help. Yes. So maybe, yes, the next page. I mentioned this point as being an essential element in having good quality. All our productions are based on standard operation procedures, which are repeated every time by the production team. And these operation procedures are then monitored by automatic control systems and by online monitoring from the team. And our manufacturing units are very modern. And that's one of the key elements we could mention about ourselves, is that we have made a sustained, regular, and very important capital investment in developing our production capacity over the last years, which, when you look around the market globally, is not something you find so easily. As a matter of fact, the large major competitors around the world have not invested anything. Much more to the point, they have closed factory all over the place, and leading to a crunch on supply globally, which is not just because of the pandemic. It is a crunch of supply which has been dating for the past 3 or 4 years at the very least. And in 2018, we built 2 new manufacturing sites in Gaoling and in Pucheng. And these 2 platforms allow us both 2 things: to have now a lot of capacity available to serve your requirements. And our typical delivery times is 30 days. I'm not talking in months. I'm talking in days, 30 days, not 30 months like you may wait at our beloved competitors from DuPont or Lanxess. And after 30 days, typically your material is ready, ex works, to be shipped. These 2 major platforms allow us to have capacity now, but allow us to have space for expansion in the coming 10 years that can be manifold the capacity we have established up to now. So you can rest assured, if you place your business with us, we will have the means to support you in the future and for the long term. So, and this is not the result of an accident. This is because we are a family enterprise. We are stock listed, which means our ability to develop the business is supported by a huge number of private investors and investment funds who are giving us the means to do such investments as you have been seeing. As you may imagine, a capital investment in such types of factories amounts to tens of millions of dollars for each of the factory. And these kind of investments are also a sign for you, our customers, that we are a safe partner. And our economic figures are published regularly since we are stock listed, and you can verify them on the stock exchange in Shenzhen. We are listed under number 300487. And if you look in Yahoo Finance, for instance, you type 300487.SZ, and you will have access to Sunresin New Materials financial details. So why choose us? Very simply, excellent and reproducible resin performance, stable resin supply also in the future. Do not wait 30 months. Buy now from us. And go beyond your fear of leaving the majors who have misused you over the years. Competitive pricing, obviously, we have other cost structures than companies who entertain private jets, and we can offer you value for the product you are buying from us so that you can generate value for yourself. Short delivery times, I mentioned that already a few times. And our long-term commitment to develop further this business is something you can trust. You can be sure we will not sell this business in 6 months. This is a family business for the next generation. And so we will be there to support you for the long term. as I mentioned too, we have a timely technical service which is available all the time. So we will now go into a bit more details about our involvement in water treatment, and we have specific presentation about that by our colleague Henry. And afterwards, we will switch to technical topics around chelating resins. And I would like to mention too also one of the areas where our fingerprint is substantially different to that of our major OECD competitors is the fact that we can deliver you ready-to-use equipment if you wish so. We are very happy to sell you ion exchange resin, adsorbers, separation systems on their own. But if you need an equipment just for one piece of your production line, we will be happy to do this. If obviously it's complex enough, it requires some process development. This is the kind of things we can do very well together with our customers, and we'll be happy to do that all around the world. And you can see how all these pieces I mentioned up to now are building together. We can ship an equipment to you, help you to start it up, monitor the way it runs together with you when you wish so. And when you have any form of difficulty, we can patch ourselves in. And once you have allowed us to do so and help you find the solution, even from a distance, which is a very efficient way to make sure you can make the most of the equipment we are providing you with, if you wish to have equipment. And this is our reason, our remote solution and operation and monitoring center in Xi'an. You can see here a picture on the day of inauguration. So it looks on the left-hand side as just one picture, but it's basically, you can align there, I think, 12 different monitors of large size, which allow us to have 12 different situations to be monitored at the same time, if that needs to be. Or yes, having a camera on one plant and at the same time looking at the parameters which are coming from the process control system and so on. So it's a very well done, and it allows us to move into many areas. So from a application fingerprint, which industries are we targeting? We have mentioned obviously healthcare at the beginning with the pandemic fight against the virus with vaccine manufacturing, but obviously separation technologies are used in all the areas of healthcare, from carrier used for medicine themselves, for APIs, which are swallowed by customers, to purification steps into manufacturing. We are present in all these areas. Obviously, in food processing, our adsorbers are instrumental in allowing you to have, for instance, colorful food based on pigments that have been recovered from plants. So fully natural pigments recovered by fully natural means, and of different colors. These are things that we have been doing with our customers around the world. After that, we are a world-leading specialist in metal extraction and chemical processing. In metal extraction, we are supporting the purification of lithium, I mentioned that, but also nickel, cobalt, and other metals like gold or uranium are recovered and purified with our materials. And if you can recover metal, obviously you can prevent contamination of water, groundwater, by providing to customers polishing systems that allow them to remove traces of metals before their effluents are being released into the environment. And we can do that very well too. If you are into water treatment, I just want to mention drinking water. We are obviously very strong in that area. We help customers make fantastic little cartridges that are used in water pitchers that you put on the table and which filtrate the water. We also support major municipal plants to remove nitrate or to remove boron from water, which are important applications all over the world. And at this point, I think I would pass the word back to my colleagues in Shanghai, and let them continue the presentation on these more technical points.
Thank you very much, Jean-Marc. Just a very quick one before we pass the floor to our colleagues here beside me. So there's a question I saw from, I think, YouTube, and it's regarding the differences between Sunresin and other major large players. I think you mentioned some, but maybe you may want to, if you have any additional point that you may want to add to that question in response to the question from Samuel?
Yes, I think that's a very important question. First of all, what I would mention is we have invested in our production capacity. We don't just tell our customers we want to support you. We put our bucks where our words are, and have done investment in the tune of more than $100 million in new production capacity in the last few years to be able to deliver the goods the customer want. We are not just telling them we will deliver, but it comes after 1 year and a half. We do effectively have capacity for them, and that's a big commitment. And the large multinationals have so many different businesses in parallel. There is always another business that comes first before the ion exchange or the adsorber businesses can get the capital they need to continue the development of the business. And that's a major difference. Second, this business is a family-owned business, even if it is stock listed. And the commitment of the owners and their family and their wish to have something to transmit to the next generation is something that has completely disappeared in the large majors. That does not exist anymore. These are financial players. One day they buy a business, the next day they sell it. And that's the reality. And that makes a major difference, because you can work with a family over several generations. With a financial player, you cannot. It may be in 10 days gone. Yeah, and that's a major difference. And I would like to point here one commercial from a very respected French company making tires. I think it's Michelin, and they were making a commercial in the US about 10 years ago, telling to people, why do you want to buy from us? And their answer was, because so much rides on our tires. And basically, that's my conclusion. Why do you want from us? Because so much of your future success rides on our ion exchange resin and in some cases equipment. You don't want to place your trust in a company that may not be around the corner in 6 months' time, because their investors have decided, poof, poof, we change everything. That's my conclusion.
Thank you, Jean-Marc. And so we're a family business, and we're a family, and it's really great to have you in our family. And now, before we move on to our next family member, Dr. Zhang Li, who will shed some light on UPW, ultra-pure water, I would like to maybe kind of apologize for the noise that was being made here, because we're at the trade show here, which is the Aquatech China, and sometimes you keep hearing some announcement or official announcement to help to remind us of the COVID-19 safety measures and non-smoking things. So if that annoys you, that's something that is not really in our hand. But we do try our best technically to make it an enjoyable moment for you. And now I would like to give the floor to our next guest, our next family member, who's in charge of UPW. He will give you a lot of information about when we talked about monojet uniform particle size. So now, please, Dr. Zhang.
请您和大妈夫妻提前联系，感谢您的支持，祝您发展愉快。
Hi everyone, I'm Zhang Li. I'm from Sunresin, and I'm in charge of the uniform particle size resin application in UPW, nuclear, and condensate pollution. So in the next few minutes, I will give you some detail on our products. The uniform particle size is a premium quality with polymer structure, special design to combine high operating capacity with fine physical stability. So the specification assure that no more than 2% resin bead are larger than 6 meshes. That is 420 micrometers, and no more than 1% are finer than 40 meshes. So if you can see the figure 1 show the bead distribution, of the normal and narrow dispersed resins. For normal dispersed resin has a wide range in size from about 350 to 1,250 micrometers. While the monojet, the narrow disperse, the distribution is very narrow. So with the ratio of the maximum to minimum particles, the size can be lower than 1.35. And the picture on the right can show the resin with the uniform coefficient of 1.05 and 1.61 respectively. And the difference in the resin particle size can be clearly seen. That is the difference in diameter of maximum and minimum of UPS is less than 100 micrometers. In non-uniform particle size resin, the small particle resins can fill the gap between the larger resins. So due to the high uniformity, there are a series of advantages of UPS resin in water production, such as the rapid exchange kinetic performance, the fine average friability and stability of resin, and also the purity of resin can be very high. So with the excellent performance, it's resulting the good elute water quality, a longer service life of resins, and also no other impurity ions are introduced into the water. So at present, the Sunresin has owned and masters the advanced polymerization of UPS resin, which is totally different from the ordinary suspension polymerization. In ordinary suspension polymerization, we just add the initiator, the monomer, such as styrene, dimethylbenzene, some into the water in a vessel under certain temperature and certain stirring, a series of droplet can be formed, and finally the Gaussian size beads can be formed. After functionalization, the ion, the cation and anion ion exchange resins can be produced, and the narrow dispersed resins, the polymerization is totally different. So we call it the liquid vibration jet technology. So due to the technology and the continuous polymerization, the uniform particle resins can be produced. So right now, the Sunresin was the first and the only UPS resin manufacturer in China, and stable. And since 2019, we have produced our UPS resin. So right now, the resins has the stable performance and the quality assurance. We have three factories in Gaoling, so the high capacity production can meet international standards. Also, we have used our UPS resins into the largest and the second largest the panel manufacturer in China. So we have started our localization of uniform particle size resins. So with the characteristics of high ionic conversion and excellent dynamics, the UPS resins can be applied in producing UPW water. I have listed several UPS resins. Some of them strong acid contain, and some of the strong base anion. Also, I have listed the separable mixed bed and the non-separable mixed bed for electronic grade ultrapure water production. After our test on all the key parameters of the ultrapure water, such as resistivity, the TOC, and online dissolved silica, oxygen, even particles, are totally require the electronic grade UPW. The most common used resins are in UPW are monojet SC650U and SA550U. So I have listed the detailed specs in the table. As you can see, by comparing with the competitors. So comparing with the competitors, some of the specs such as total exchange capacity and the uniformity coefficient, even the friability are almost the same. And our uniformity coefficient can as low as 1.07. So as early as 2019, we have started our pilot test in Jiangsu. So from the figure, you can see that the inlet water resistivity is 1791, and outlet resistivity of can reach 1822. And also the dissolved silica is 019. Sorry, 013. And the right picture shows the long term of the data. We have also, our UPW resin has been applied in the largest panel manufacturer in China. This factory has 25 polishing beds in ultrapure water line, and each bed was applied 1.5 cubic meter. The flow rate is 180 cubic meters per hour. So from the picture, you can see that our by treatment of our UPS resin, the outlet water, the TOC of outlet water can reach as low as 3.9 ppb. So outlet resistivity of Sunresin polishing resin bed remains at 1816 to 1870 micron centimeter, and TOC can below 5 ppb. So it has been verified that the effluent quality, such as resistivity, TOC, meet the target requirement. Here is some other tests, long-term resistivity and TOC data changes of the Sunresin and the competitor with time from November to October. And the next shows that we have done another analysis that we have tested the trace ion, such as the chloride, sodium, and the calcium, by a third party, that is by Sumitomo Chemical in Shanghai. We have compared our Sunresins and the competitors. So based on the above that, the performance of Sunresin's uniform particle size polishing resin are as good as that of competitors, proving that the polishing resin of Sunresin have been applied to all OLED panel factory and the UPW production. Our another application of UPS resin is desalination. Here I have listed several combinations of resins such as SAG, degas, and SBA. And the combination of application of strong and weak resin is the most common desalination process. And here I have listed our Sunresin product and comparing with the major players such as DuPont, Lanxess, Samyang, Mitsubishi, and Purite. So each kind of resin, such as SAG and SBA, WBA, WAC, we all have the products that corresponding with the others. So Sunresin has been the first manufacturer to master the production technology of uniform particle size resin in the world. Here I will give you some more detailed introduction of our special resin for wastewater treatment, the boron removal, fluoride removal, and copper removal. The first one is the boron removal resins in UPW. The the separate monojet B718U. Here, the product is the superior grade gelatin resin with high selectivity to boron. The resin can give excellent efficiency for boron removal, and the functional group N-methylglutamine, which can form strong gelatin bond with boron. So there are some other advantages such as the high purity and very low TOC release. This resin, the delta TOC of the resin can as low as 2 ppb, and the new resin does not need to be rinsed and can be used directly. Also, the large exchange capacity can make the resin very long service life. Here I listed the two types of boron removal resins. The first one, LSC 718, is for normal grade. It can be used in drinking water, seawater desalination, while the B780U just can be used in semiconductor. Another special resin is fluoride removal in water treatment. The LX716 and LX816 are developed for the fluoride removal in water treatment. The fluoride water was treated with the special resin, and the water should be qualified after the treatment, and the concentration of the fluoride can be below 1 ppm. So unicorn nano metal aluminum loaded function group, which has strong selectivity to the fluoride ion. And another special resin that is LX816 is the zirconium doped. This can also be used in wastewater treatment for fluoride removal. Here is the defluoridation project in Guangdong. And finally, I will give you another special resin that is copper removal in wastewater treatment. That is LSC 7100. This resin is a microporous weak acid cationic gelatin resin with the IDA functional group. So the functional group is specially developed for selective extraction of metal from wastewater, and it also can provide high selectivity for copper recovery from spent liquor. Its optimized polymer structure, excellent chemical and physical stability, can ensure its high performance during operation in both fixed bed column and as well as resin in pole process. Okay, here is the copper removal project in Guangdong province. Okay, that's all the introduction of the special resins in wastewater treatment. So the next, I'd like to invite my colleague Henry to give you some brief introduction on drinking water treatment. Henry.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sunresin, coming from our Sunresin R&D team. For the last 1 year, our team finished some optimized work in potable water treatment. Today, I'm going to share you 6 domestic water treatment resin in our portfolio. Well, technically, there are 4 products and 2 byproducts, because the top 3 products is based on the same matrix. It is all based on RS9A3. It's a microporous weak acid cationic resin. And we separate these 6 resin to 2 application areas. The first area is drinking water, like water softening and the cartridge. The second area is traces removal. Well, this two resin works on some industries like PFOS removal and gradient removal. Well, the first resin I want to share with you is Satellite RC130NS. This is a non-solvent water softening resin. This is a high-purity strong acid cation resin. It's gel-type and is synthesized without solvent addition, such as acetate chloride in the sulfonation process. It is mainly designed for using in water softening, demineralization, dealkalization in all the water processing applications. Well, this resin has three key features and benefits. First one is high operation capacity, and the second one is good kinetic performance. There are two graphs. This is a parallel test with our product and an equivalent product in the world market, and this test is finished in our plant lab. While in the breakthrough curve, we can see our product works better than the equivalent. Our breakthrough point is much lower than the equivalent, and in illusion curve, our product is illusion much more fast than the equivalent. While the second feature is non-solvent, and this is the most important one, because if we use EDC resin in our water softener, there is going to occur some EDC leakage in our potable water, and this EDC will cause our cancer. This resin is mainly used in domestic water softening, and it is also used in industrial water demineralization. The second resin I want to share with you is Satellite LSF9A3. It is a non-ejectable water softening resin used in cartridge with good capacity and high cleanness. It is a food-grade polyalkylate microporous weak acid cation resin. This resin is characterized by its alkylate matrix and low swelling. The resin has a high selectivity for divalent cations like calcium, magnesium, lead, cadmium, copper, cobalt, and nickel. Well, this resin is able to removing the hardness as well as with heavy metals which are harmful to human health. The resin can improve the taste and purity of drinking water. Generally, this resin is manufactured in hydrogen form, and we have two kinds of product. For one is high capacity RSF9A3, and the other is extremely high capacity kind of resin. In this resin, we can make it the volume capacity to 4.7 mole per liter. Uh, During work process, this resin will uptake some calcium and magnesium. It also release some hydrogen. It will reduce the pH of our potable water. It will give us a bad flavor. So, if we want to improve the taste of the water, we need to replace some hydrogen by sodium. But sodium is bad for our heart and several vessels. And we also can replace hydrogen by some potassium. So we have sodium and potassium loaded resin. And the third one we have silver loaded RS9A3. A certain percentage of silver doped resin addition in cartridge will kill all the bacteria in the household filter systems. Then we come to traces removal resin. The first one I want to share is Satellite RC resin. This is a titanium resin loaded with barium sulfate, and it's able to remove rhodium from underground water. Rhodium is a radioactive element that occurs naturally in trace amounts in rock, soil, and groundwater. Groundwater can contain significant amounts of rhodium due to local geology. The U.S. Government Protection Agency has set a maximum contaminant level of rhodium in public water supplies of 5 picocuries per liter. Our resin as a barium salt complex in an ion exchange matrix, which is specially developed for selective extraction of radium in drinking water system components. Based on the optimized formulation and matrix construction, this resin provides excellent mechanical strength. It will perform guaranteed radium extraction volume in drinking water system before exhaustion. And our product can provide 11 to 18 nanocuries per gram capacity. The application is mainly in radium extraction in drinking water. The last resin I want to share is Satellite RSI 106G. This resin has high selectivity to PFOS, including PFOA and PFOS. Nowadays, plastic has been more and more used in our daily life. Uh, our this will cause more PFOS in our city water system, and if we uptake some PFOS in our system, it will stay in our system permanently. This resin is a gel form. The special matrix and its distributed mine functional group make it highly selective for the emissions from drinking water. It guarantees a higher total capacity and the mechanical stability, which ensures its better pressure resistance and achieves non-detected level of PFOS under high liner velocity operations. There are two graphs. This graph is our product compared with three competitors' products, and it shows that our product works span before 16,000 bed volumes. It keeps the PFOS under EPA standard, which is 17 ppt. Finally, we all know that for water treatment, the most important is safety and cleanliness. Our product not only has all the certificates in China, but also overseas. We have WQA, FDA, and kosher, halal, all the certificates. I'm sure we can provide you the most safety and the cleanest resin. Well, thank you. I will hand over the camera to Eric.
Thank you. Thank you, Harry. Harry is from our R&D department. Dr. Zhang is from the application department, head of the application department. Both of them are very experienced and knowledgeable in their respective field. So we're really happy to have such a big family. It's a family business, as our vice president said. And over the past 20 years, we have been doing one single thing and we are, as we said, we are really an expert in separation technology and business. And we would like to continue this path, which has not been easy, but we have been doing so far so good. There are a few minutes left, about just 5 minutes left. I saw some very nice words, very nice comments from our YouTube platform from Mr. I think Jaitendra Singh. Mr. Singh, thank you for your very kind words. Congratulations for Sunresin team. Yeah, you mentioned screen was not very clear. I may well agree with you that since we are at a trade show, and this is the very first time we're doing this initiative, we're trying this initiative, so maybe technically there must be a lot of improvement that can be made. But as a company, as a family, we have been through many difficulties with regard to technical issues, commercial issues, and then the COVID-19. But we've been through every time and become even stronger after that. So I hope our viewers have had a good time getting some information from us. If you don't get what you were looking for, then don't hesitate to reach out to us by email at ecom@sunresin.com, which is indicated in the screen. And maybe a final word from Dusseldorf, our vice president, after these technical presentations. You have 2 minutes left to give a European goodbye,
Yeah.
a European conclusion.
So thank you very much to everyone. I think this is, for me too, a first experience, a very successful experience, I would say. And congratulations to my young technical colleagues for their presentation. As a conclusion, I would like to point out one thing which came through at the very end. Our products do undergo all the testings required by the authorities around the world before being sold in the respective markets. And for instance, in Europe, we have the corresponding REACH certificate for importing our goods into Europe. And we have also carried out for our softening products and drinking water products, which were mentioned here, the corresponding registration and testing according to the RES-AP regulation for the European Union with authorized laboratories like TÜV in Munich or TZW in Germany, which have validated and certified the quality of our products for drinking water and food application. And so you can rest assured when you buy from us, you are buying a top quality material from a long-term committed supplier, and you have a partner to develop your business and create value on both sides. Yes, thank you very much. This was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean-Marc, and thank you everyone from our team, especially our viewers. It's the very first time, and we hope that you will come back soon. And do not hesitate to reach out to us, as we do not hesitate to reach out to you. So thank you very much, and that's the end of this very first live streaming from Sunresin.